Is the Niners' offensive line a strength or a weakness?
It's often discussed as a weakness, but let's go through it. You got the best left tackle in pro football, if you still believe he's at that level. That's debatable. Then you got Banks and Burford, who to me look like absolute 10-year starter, building block behemoths at guard. I love that guard tandem. And then the center was a Pro Bowl alternate. Now, I think there's more powerful centers. I think you could upgrade there. But then you also bring in a guy like Feliciano to kind of supplement what you have. You got some other young players. It's really, I think, a very good line. And then Colton McKivitz is a question mark. But you know what? The Eagles have an awesome line too, and they just changed out their right guard. So they got an awesome line and a question mark. I just think the Niners line gets maligned a little bit too easily. And if we actually went, you say, okay, it's not a very good line. The Niners don't have a very good line. I've heard lots of people throw that out as the premise of their point. The line sucks, but Trent Williams is the best. The center is a borderline Pro Bowler. The guards are probably foundation pieces for the next decade. So are we saying this line sucks because we have this terrible feeling about McKivitz, and who I personally think, if I was going on another bold prediction, I don't think they're going to miss McGlinchey at all. I really don't. I don't think McGlinchey is, I don't think what they lose in the run game with McGlinchey is going to be like, oh my God. McKivitz is a disaster blocking against the run. I think McKivitz is going to be cheaper. I think he's going to be a better pass protector, and it's a passing league. So I don't see the Niners offensive line as horrible. I see the Niners offensive line as kind of more mid, but if you go position by position, I don't really have a problem with any of the guys other than I'd love to have McKivitz in an ideal world in a utility role. And I'd like to have like a big time, mid first round pick right tackle. Other than that, I kind of like the line.
I don't like it. I think it's a weakness.
Who don't you like?
It's definitely not a strength. I mean, Trent Williams wasn't in shape to start last season. He doesn't come to OTAs. He tries to work himself into shape. He gets injured early in the year. I mean, yeah, he's still really good, but he's not what he used to be. Aaron Banks, I'm not certain he's going to get a second contract with this team. Brendel's decent. Not sure why he was a Pro Bowl alternate. That escaped me. Like, he's decent. Burford, don't know that he's going to get a second contract with the team. And McKivitz, like, you have one first round pick on your offensive line. That's what you got. Like, when the Niners had Kaepernick, when the Niners went to the Super Bowl, they had 3 first-round picks on their offensive line. That was the best offensive line in the league. That was a strength. You had Staley, Upati, Anthony Davis in their primes. That was a really good offensive line. And there are other offensive lines like that Detroit has 3 first-round picks. I just feel like the Niners, it's well coached.
Blue chipper.
It's well coached. It's well coached.
Yeah, that's the
other thing. They punch above their weight.
Good coach.
They punch above their weight, but it's like, what do you really expect, man? I mean, you got 4th round pick, you got a late 2nd round pick, you got an undrafted free agent, you got a 5th round pick. Like, yeah, it's okay. It's all right. It could be better if they actually invested in it.
I like Banks. I like Burford. I'm not sure about Brendel, and I'm not sure about Trent. As far as how much more does he have? Where exactly is he? He's thought of as the best, but is that like a yesteryear kind of a rep and he's no longer that player? Yeah. I could see that argument. I'd listen to that argument. Brendel to me is a little underwhelming. McKivitz, I could see is just an okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Feliciano takes that job from him. Like, let's see Brendel do it again. Let's see him do it again.
But the fact that they have Feliciano, I think, is a good thing too. I think they're fortified there. So I look at center as you got Brendel and Feliciano. I look at
Zakel.
Zakel had 2 fumbled snaps, but I like Zakel as a prospect. I mean, he's smart, he's tough, he's physical.
Guard.
Probably a guard. Joey, I thought it was interesting when I asked Forster about it. They said they were bringing in Fisher as a tackle / guard. He's like, he's a guard. I mean, I couldn't even get the question out, and he's like, guard. He's not a center, not a tackle. So to me, they're a little thin at right tackle. But besides that, I kind of like the line. I don't think it's that bad.
The coach says, Larry, the question was, is the Niners offensive line a strength or a weakness as opposed to our team? Not good or bad. Don't deflect.
First of all, it was my question. I'm the one who came up with this question, but I think it's closer to a strength than a weakness, and we obviously just have a difference of agreement here. I do.
It's the weakest position group on the offense.
I would say the tight ends. I would say the tight ends behind Kittle are really weak. I don't like the tight ends behind Kittle, to be honest. That would be my
shots concern. Fired at Cam Latu.
Yeah,
it's been a third round pick on a number 2 tight end. It's been a third round pick on a number 2 tight end. That's a pretty high investment.
I know. I've been honing in on him. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing what the strength is. Now I talked to Fleury, the tight end coach, and he's talking about there's development there. He really loves Braden Willis. I'll say if I was making another bold prediction, I would put Willis as their 2 tight end. But I'm not a Warner guy. I don't think he moves anybody on the line of scrimmage. He's more of a try-hard guy, not a dwelly guy. I think he's a liability as a blocker and just okay as a receiver. I don't see if Kittle was down for a month, they would be damaged.
How many teams in the NFL would Colton McKivitz start for?
I don't know. Probably not too many. Probably not more than 5 or 6.
And that's a problem when you're a Super Bowl contender. Like, why is Colton McKivitz starting for you? He wouldn't even start for the Rams. Like, what?
This all stems back to the Solomon Thomas, Javon Kinlaw. They prioritized D-line over O-line, and then they whiffed on Solly. And so instead of going Wirfs, they went Kinlaw. That should have been Wirfs, and it should have been Wirfs there. And if they had Wirfs, they've been. But instead,
it would definitely be a strength.
They had to keep going D-line, and now they've got to go fill in with more of a utility type player. But before we lose our minds, they did get to the NFC Championship game with Tom Compton, and I think McKivitz is clearly a better prospect than Compton. That's my thought.
Shots fired at Tom Compton. Didn't think we'd go there today, but
I like Tom Compton, but I like McKivitz. I'm not. It's
very
funny.
Different.
Tom
Compton was a legitimately good run blocker that year. He's just horrendous in pass protection. I think McKivitz is going to be better in pass protection than Tom Compton, but he can't run like Tom. Tom is like Forrest Gump. Like, that boy can run. That man can run. He's like 33.
I don't think anybody's ever going to be impressed by McKivitz.
I'm impressed by Tom Compton. I have a Tom Compton jersey. Wear it around town.
But I think he could be effective. Let's just say that. I don't think he's going to be overwhelming. I think you'll always be looking to upgrade. And I think in an ideal world, McKivitz is your 6th lineman, right? He's the guy that comes off the bench and can play anywhere.
Ideally, but not on this team. He's starting.
On this team, he's starting right tackle.
Oof. Brother Rob says, Grant, you still think Brock is Jimmy Garoppolo 2.0 with noodle arm? I mean, look. I'm sorry, it hurts people's feelings. I'm not trying to be mean to Brock. Brock is a really good player. But after all the nice things you say about Brock, and there's a lot of them, he still has the weakest arm of all the starting quarterbacks in the league. And you could say it doesn't matter. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, he was still 8-0. He was. So you could project into the future and say it's going to catch up to him or not. And we don't even know what the arm he could come back stronger. He could come back stronger. We don't know. But you have to say he has the weakest arm of all the starting quarterbacks. Does it matter? I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, ultimately, anybody.
Jeff Garcia thinks it doesn't matter. Kurt Warner thinks it doesn't matter. The Niners think it don't. So we'll see. I mean, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not writing him off. He's here for a while. He'll get his chance.
Scoreboard.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's all he has to say, man.
33 a game.
No doubt. James Durnall says, do you see BP captain after they denied Trey Lance last year? Good question.
Who were the captains? Or does this team have captains, or is it just that committee?
They have captains. No,
they do have captains?
They have 7 captains. Yeah, they do. I forget who the captains
are. So who are they?
They haven't had that'd be a good question.
Armstead?
I don't know. Armstead.
Warner.
Bosa. Warner.
Jimmy Ward last year, probably.
Yeah, Jimmy Ward. I forget. Fred. We got Fred Warner.
Flanagan Fowles, maybe?
Kittle. Not Flanagan Fowles.
Well, maybe special team captain. Who was the special teams captain?
I don't think they had one. Grant, shots fired by Larry. No defense for your guy, Dwelly. Let's hear it, Grant. USD's finest. I know. I mean, that was just uncalled for. I really would like to see Ross Dwelly go to a team that throws the ball because he's on this run-first team. He's not a blocker. He has
glorified receiver.
He's elite hand-eye coordination. He runs a 5-1. Literally, like he runs a 5-1. But he catches the ball and gets open somehow, some way. So I'd like to see him go to a team that throws.
I mean, he's a success story. Whether and I recognize that he was a Torero, and he's had an entire NFL career. So he's a success story.
And he's been on the team this long because they know he's an NFL player. They just re-signed him this year. If they cut him, he will end up on another team, and I hope he does, because they're not going to use him on this freaking team.
Well, he's got Jimmy killed one time. He looks, to me, going from Dwelly to Croft is an upgrade in blocking, and that says it all. Yeah,
remember how the 49ers used to use Garrett Selleck in 2017? They called it Selleck time. It was like, look, he's so slow that you're not going to cover him. So we're going to throw it to him one time a game, and it's going to be a 30-yard touchdown. And it's going to be hilarious. And they did it a lot. I always thought they could do that with Dwelly. It's like, no one's covering him. No one's thinking about him. But he'll catch the ball. He'll get open. It'll be a big play. It could have been Dwelly time. It never was Dwelly time. It should have been Dwelly time. And I lament the fact that it wasn't.
Willis, I think, takes his job. That would be my guess this summer. Maybe not. Yeah. But that would be my guess.
Yeah. Larry bet me pig in a pickle that Lance will reclaim QB1. Did he? Pig in a pickle. You mean you just betting pig in a pickle because they just give you free stuff?
No, he's asking me. He's asking me.
Okay.
He's like, Larry, please bet me.
Well, go on his channel and propose the bet.
Yeah, brother Bob.
Yeah.
Thanks for the super.
All right, it's 11 o'clock.
I don't need. Last time I bet somebody, it didn't turn out well.
Yeah, man, we gotta take our emotions out of these sports takes. I really don't care. I try to laugh through it. I really don't care. If you ever see me getting upset about a sports take of mine, please slap me in the face, because I don't care.
Have you ever blocked a 49er content creator on Twitter?
Hell yeah.
You have?
Some guys I used to work with after last year, after that Kinlaw stuff. But nah.
Oh, really? That was bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Some people not on the team anymore.